What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and today I want to talk about streaming. Very few of us are still in the traditional cable matrix because nowadays we have so many different options for our entertainment, such as YouTube, obviously, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. Hey, the list goes on and on. Then there are all the music apps and podcasts. It really is an amazing progression of the daily content we consume. But what we're going to talk about today is which credit card should I be using to pay for my streaming services? Some of you might be thinking streaming can't be a big enough expense for me to worry about which card I use. Maybe, maybe not. The folks in the credit card rewards game, though, really want to optimize every single bit of their spending, and it's not uncommon for us to use a different card for almost every single expense to make sure we're getting the biggest bang out of our spending buck. I also think some of us might underestimate just how much we spend on streaming per month, especially those of us with children. I mean, a UFC pay-per-view is like $80 now. I'm willing to bet that we have a lot of subscribers that spend more on streaming monthly than they do on gasoline. So why not a video for them? Today, I'll give you a list of what I think are the best cards to set up auto pay for all your streaming expenses. But first, if you are new here, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you'd like to stay up to date on those topics, subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you get any value out of this video, slap that like button and share it with a streaming friend. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Streaming. Who doesn't have a few monthly subscriptions to streaming services? There are so many out there and so many great options. I know a lot of people who even rotate quarterly what they use. Like one quarter, they'll have a Netflix subscription, and the next, maybe switch to HBO Plus. Whatever your setup is, let's make sure we're getting the best rewards we can for our streaming bills. There aren't a ton of cards out there that are great for streaming, but that doesn't mean you have to use your 2% catch-all card. My advice for this card is to program auto pay for the bill and auto pay for the actual credit card. This simplifies everything, and you never need to pull the card out of your sock drawer. So about this list. This will be personal or consumer cards only. We won't get into business cards with this one, and this list will include both cashback and points cards, as well as no annual fee cards, in addition to cards that do have a fee. So pretty diverse list today. And I also want to thank today's sponsor, Neuro. If you're not familiar with Neuro, then I will explain how they help me prepare today's video. For now, let's talk about the credit cards. The first card we'll talk about today is a very popular card with American Express. Yes, it's the Blue Cash Preferred. Now, this card earns cash back in the form of statement credit. The Blue Cash Preferred makes this list because it offers 6% cash back on streaming services. And the significant thing about that is it is uncapped. The card also comes with $84 in credits towards the Disney bundle, and that is, in true American Express fashion, of course, split up into $7 per month. A little more information about this card is it currently has a $250 bonus, and in the first year, the annual fee is waived. After year one, that annual fee does go up to $95. Now, believe it or not, this card is actually considered a grocery store card by most. It gets 6% back on US supermarkets with a yearly $6,000 cap and 3% back on gas and transit purchases. This card is a powerhouse and really should be part of a lot of wallets. Next up is one of my favorite cards I have, but before I get into that, I want to talk just for a moment about today's sponsor, Neuro. Neuro makes gum and mints to energize, calm, and focus whenever you need it. Why is that important? Well, have you ever noticed the amount of text, junk calls, and notifications you get constantly? It is overwhelming, especially when I'm working on YouTube stuff. I feel like I'm always reacting to distractions instead of what I need to get done. The first thing I did was take off the smartwatch and replace it with a real adult watch. And that was a good start, but with so many demands and distractions, it can be super challenging to maintain focus and concentration. Neuro can help you stay on task. Their energy and focus formula is specially formulated with natural caffeine, L-theanine, and B vitamins to sustain the mental endurance necessary to maintain your focus. I like the Energy and Focus cinnamon mints to get really into that flow state and focus exactly what I need to do. Neuro also has mints and gum formulated for calm and clarity, or health and vitality. If you want to learn more or to order, check out my link in the description and go to that next Zoom meeting energized and focused. Okay, back on track. Next up, we have the US Bank Cash Plus card. The US Bank Cash Plus is a no annual fee card with a $200 bonus. Now, this is a quarterly category card that earns 5% cash back on 2 different categories that you choose, and one of those choices includes TV, internet, streaming. That's all one category. Now, this card does have a $2,000 quarter limit, but that should be plenty for your streaming needs. 5% cash back on this with no annual fee makes it a great choice if you ask me. I get a lot of questions about US Bank and how to get approved. If you think you may have difficulty being approved, I would recommend opening a free checking account first. You'll need it to deposit the cash back in anyway. I would also recommend, if you can, go into a branch to do this. While you're there, I would just get the Cash Plus. US Bank likes to see human beings in person. Hope that helps someone. Our third card makes a lot of lists, and for good reason. The Citi Custom Cash gets 5% cash back on your highest spending category in the statement period with a $500 spending cap. One of the bonus categories is, you guessed it, streaming services. So if you use this card as a dedicated streaming service card, you can earn 5% cash back on up to $500 spend per month. Not a bad option at all, especially if you can set up auto everything on it and just cruise. Guys, if you're interested in any of these cards, or basically any card out there, check out my links in the description. Make sure the sign-up bonuses are competitive, but using my link supports my channel, and it would be very much appreciated. This list has a few underrated cards on it, and this next one is, in my opinion, one of those cards. The Capital One Savor One. It's one of those cards that has pretty much flown under the radar, but it's a great choice, especially if you're looking for a complement to that Big League Venture X card. The no annual fee Savor One has a $200 bonus and earns unlimited 3% cash back on the following categories: dining, entertainment, streaming services, and grocery stores. That's a lot of categories, and the nice thing about this card, if you have a Capital One miles earning card, such as the Venture X, you can transfer this cash back, essentially converting it to Capital One miles. Capital One miles, at least for me, are much more valuable because I like to transfer out to the travel partners. These next two are probably not what you were expecting, but they each have great use cases. The first one we'll talk about is the American Express Platinum Card. Now, most of you know we can't talk about all the Platinum benefits and credits, but let's summarize with, it's a $695 annual fee premium travel card. Why is it on this list? The card offers credits for streaming services of up to $240 yearly. This is done again in $20 monthly increments. But hey, $240 is $240. So if you are willing to plop down a huge annual fee for a premium luxury travel card, then just know that you'll have the added benefit of getting some of your streaming expenses credited back to you. This credit is a bit restrictive because it is very specific in what services will be credited, so make sure you read the fine print. I also want to say, please don't consider this card just for the streaming credits. It's a very complicated product, and obviously it's very expensive, so make sure you do your research before applying for this one. And finally, one of the most popular cards in the game, the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This is another card that we won't likely get too far into because it has a plethora of benefits, but the $95 annual fee card currently has a bonus of 60,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. UR points can be redeemed a few different ways, but this Sapphire Preferred will grant the user access to the Chase transfer partners, and it gives the UR points a 25% boost when booking travel through the Chase Travel Portal. It makes this list because the card earns 3 times UR points on dining, online groceries, and streaming. If you're looking for a full service card at a lower annual fee, definitely check out the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay guys, if you're interested in cashback, statement credit, or transferable currencies, these cards have you covered. If you enjoyed this video, please slap the like button, and thanks again to today's video's sponsor, Neuro. And remember, check out the links in the description, and if you've stayed all the way to the end, I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you.